I'm here.
Hey, Andy.
What's going on, buddy?
All right. I'm just watching Fox News
Okay.
and Trump's about to speak. 20 bucks says he's going to declare the victory his.
He's definitely going to declare victory.
But at this
He,
rally, everybody's wearing MAGA hats. Fox News is recording it, but they have two big screens going up and CNN is playing on the two big screens.
okay, that's the only thing I have on that I've been able to watch is CNN. I've been on the phone. We recorded twice tonight, and I've been on the phone the entire rest of the time. And every time I stop and I say I'm just going to watch and see what's happening, my phone rings again, and I'm so behind. I'm watching everything on mute while I'm talking to people. I don't think she's going to win. I think Wisconsin and Pennsylvania look like trouble. Now, I can't hear what they're saying, but just from the numbers that are in right now and how much is left, I
Okay.
wouldn't put money on her. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
So I'm looking at this and I think I'm going to share my screen because I think that she is going to I think she's got the blue wall, and I think she's got Pennsylvania and Arizona.
You know what's funny is how quick this is all going because 20 minutes ago I looked at it and I said, okay, she's got the blue wall. That's all she needs is the blue wall. And now I am looking on CNN right now at a red blue wall. All three states are red. I don't know how much is out in all of them, but yeah, I'd say an hour ago I was like, gosh, she's not. It's not going to be a landslide, but she's going to win. And now 20 minutes ago I was like, okay, she's barely going to win. And right now I don't think it's over, and I don't think that Trump should declare victory yet because there's
No,
so many states still out. I think
you
he's
know he
gonna,
is.
but I
The,
think that he might end up. I think there's a good chance he'll end up being right, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I declared victory and I won." Like I think right now I'd put it about a 65 or 70% chance of a Trump win just from what I'm seeing on my screen.
all right, this is what I'm looking at. Pennsylvania. You see my screen?
No, I can't see your screen at all.
All right, let's see. All right, can you see it now?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So Pennsylvania. Let's look at this. So this is the Philadelphia area, right?
Okay, all the blue dots are the Democratic expected votes still outstanding, and the red is the Republican, right?
Yeah. The only thing that I have issues with is I don't know how many people are in these counties, but Montgomery County, 61% of the vote in. She's up 65%.
Okay.
This is Chester County, 86% in. She's still at 55. 72% of the vote in Delaware County. She's up 60%, 78%, 77%.
The problem
Bucks.
is she needs to be winning those places by like 85%. And the last bit of votes that are going to come in are going to be mail-in, so they're going to be her strongly. But from what I'm seeing, she doesn't have the margin that she needs. Like 77% looks good, but Biden was at 83%. Or so I'm making that one up, but that's basically the issue she's running into. They just
Right.
projected North Carolina for Trump, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
But I mean, with let's just take this one 61% in, 65%. Let's just say she goes up 70% by the end of this.
Okay.
Like, that's a big jump in numbers being so
In
close to Philadelphia anyway.
so every time they release the next batch of votes, it looks worse and worse for her as far as making the comeback. So she needs to start closing the gap big time.
So
Like
do you think,
the next release needs to be her cutting that lead. I don't know in half, but by quite a lot.
okay. And I mean, I'm looking at all these and it's kind of the same in all these. Like, I'm looking at the big areas. I'm looking at this Detroit only has 17% of the vote and she's up
Yeah.
62%. So that puts her at I don't know, 75% if when all the votes come in,
So
maybe 80%.
this is exactly what happened in 2020. And Donald Trump famously said, "We went to bed on election night and it looked like I won, and then the next morning I woke up and suddenly I was losing." So that what
Yeah,
you're talking about is exactly what happened in 2020. What I'm saying is just from what I'm seeing, it looks like she doesn't have as enough of a margin to pull it off in all three states.
she's not winning as far as Trump is. But Milwaukee is the biggest city in Wisconsin, right? And there's
Yeah.
only 50% of the vote in, and she's up 67 to 31%.
But one of the things I was seeing up in the Green Bay area, like she needed to be closer in that area, and she's not. Like, she's not anywhere near where Biden was.
Brown County. So there's only 35% of the vote in, and she's 61, or Donald Trump is 61% ahead
Yeah,
over 30%.
she needs to be about even there. So there's still a lot of decent sized red dots left in Wisconsin right now.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
I'm just
lot
saying
of
that the math is getting harder and harder every time they release new ballots. This could very well be Trump could take 2 out of 3 of those. If he sweeps the blue wall, then that's amazing. So, one of the things I just saw, apparently, I'm not going to say all of this, but a huge part of this is, man, they were undersampling Latino men in these in every poll. Latino men showed up for Trump, which somebody's going to have to explain that to me because to me, it's like, oh, he's talking about mass deportations, and all the rapists and murderers coming across the border. In my mind, that makes me think that it would turn off Hispanic voters. Apparently not. So someone
That's
has
what
to
I would
explain that to
think
me.
too. Yeah, I thought he lost it, especially with the Puerto Rico's a garbage pile thing with Tony Hinchcliffe. I
Apparently not. And maybe the economy just means that much. Which I still think you could make an argument that her plan's going to be better for the economy, but I don't think they did a good job of making that plan to people.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting. Let's see if Trump's speaking.
I've got Fox on one of my TVs, and he's not up there yet.
Okay.
That this is something that is.
Yeah, he would definitely
Yeah.
be
Uh,
up anyway.
100% chance he declares victory, which I like I said, it's still technically too early, but I think if we waited about 2 hours, it might not be too early. But yeah, there are some scary states right now, and I think Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are the two that I think she might not have. Michigan, technically he has it right now, but it looks like Detroit's going to possibly bail her out. But yeah, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, it's if she wins, it's going to be barely. And at this point, like I said, I wouldn't put money on that.
Okay. Okay.
So I hope
Nevada
I'm wrong.
looks like it's
I hope this
nothing's
is a
coming in Nevada. What's going on?
I do not know. I haven't heard anything about it. And really, Nevada, now that North Carolina's off the map, Nevada doesn't mean anything. Like he can win Nevada. That's Nevada and Arizona are out of play. Once North Carolina wasn't an option, Arizona and Nevada don't matter. It's just about the blue wall now.
Okay.
It's the only
So
way
we
one of
just
those two would have mattered is if she was trying to pair that with North Carolina to replace a blue wall state.
so we need the blue wall.
That's the only path. Coming into tonight, she had like 7 different paths to 270, and Trump only had one. And now it's completely reversed, and like they each have one path. Trump's path now is to win any one of the blue wall states. Like if he wins Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, or Michigan, they call that busting the blue wall or breaking up the blue wall. But if he
Yeah.
busts up the blue wall, he is the champion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, shit.
it's what we get. We get what we vote for. So we are going to get four. And I think that Republicans have officially taken the Senate. So that means
Yeah.
Trump, like anybody who's over the age of 60, he's going to replace them on the Supreme Court. And we are going to have a Republican dominated Supreme Court for the next 40 years, 30
How
years
is
at least.
anybody voting for these people?
I'm telling you, man, Republican policies, I've tried to tell you this, and I can't articulate them well right now. But people they like what Republicans are selling, not necessarily what they're doing, but what they're selling. The other thing, I part of one of the ads I saw repeatedly was like I don't know, the anti-transgender ad was kind of how I would call it, but it was a Trump ad that Kamala's for transgender and she's for transgender boys competing in girls sports, blah, blah. And to me, it always like I didn't like that ad. It made me sick to my stomach. Like I think there's a percentage of Americans that's a lot higher than I realized that like yeah, they're all about that. Like they want someone who's going to stand up to these different groups that they don't care for. And
Yeah.
trans appears to be on that list. So I've told you that for the past couple of weeks. Like certain things that each candidate is saying, like it doesn't make sense to us, but they're not talking to us. And like all the things that Trump was doing to me didn't work, but he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to a very certain voter and it worked on them.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah. So I'm not
This is
saying it's over. I'm just saying I feel terrible about the chances right now. But in 2020, at this exact moment, we were in this exact same spot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hopefully she pulls out ahead and gets the blue wall at least.
like I said, the thing that's scaring me is they keep comparing her margins right now to Biden's, and she's running behind where Biden was right now. So Biden was
Yeah.
able to make it up. It's because he was getting a higher percentage from those like city centers where she's doing. If you just look at it, you're like, oh, she's getting 75% in Atlanta. It's like, well, Biden was getting 82% in Atlanta. That 7% makes a big difference.
Yeah. I'm looking at shift from 2020. And yeah, it looks like it's shifting a lot in the red direction.
Yep. Now
The
there
wrong
are
direction.
So the thing is, though, like in Georgia, for example, a lot of the red country areas, like she's overperforming Biden there, but it's a real small number of votes total in that area. So even though she's doing a little bit better than Biden did, it doesn't matter. It's
That
not
was
enough to
Bill
make it up.
Clinton.
That was the Bill Clinton effect. Yeah.
Okay.
So
You think she should have taken Biden to Pennsylvania, huh?
they hid Biden, and I don't blame them for that. I don't know these last couple of months how, like, think about the last 2 weeks, like the couple times that they let Biden speak. One of them was when he called Trump's supporters trash, which that's almost the Tony Hinchcliffe effect.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, I think they very, very smartly did not want him out talking to people. So that's one. I don't think there's going to be a lot of finger pointing after this, but nobody's going to say they should have used Biden more. Like that's not anything you're going to hear. Um, they're going to
Maybe
say
just a Pennsylvania. Fuck.
if she loses, they're going to say that she played it too safe. She should have gone on Rogan. She should have done more interviews.
Yeah.
She should have gone on Fox more, whatever it is. She played it too safe. And this feels so. And it hasn't happened yet. And like I said, it's too early to call the race. This feels very 2016 just because of the confidence the left had, where it's like, oh, nobody's going to vote for Trump. He's awful. And it's like, no, you don't understand. I've been telling you this for the last couple
Yeah.
months. Like there is a big percentage of America out there that loves what that guy's selling. Like even though
Yeah.
you and me think that we can't fathom it, they do. And I think it's because of where I live and people I talk to, but like I know a lot of people that are really into what Donald Trump is selling. Like and
Yeah,
when I
but they're
try to
not paying attention. Like they're not even paying attention to what he's selling.
Yeah, no, and that's all of them will tell me openly. They'll say like, "Yeah, I'm a real low information guy. Like I don't watch. I don't, I barely pay attention to what's going on. But the little bit they do hear is like from podcasts like Joe Rogan, where they hear that Trump
From
was
their
way better for the
neighbor.
economy. What's that?
It's from their neighbor.
Either their neighbor or yeah, it's from the places that Democrats they are slow to catch on to this stuff recently. So Republicans were hitting the podcast circuit early and often. Like they all
Yeah.
hit Theo Vaughn and Andrew Schultz and Rogan and all that. And
Yeah,
Dem
yeah.
seemed to not like. I think in the last week or two, Kamala went on Club Shay Shay and some other ones, but like overall, Call Her Daddy, which again, that's not speaking to me, but apparently girls watch that. Um,
Yeah.
Also, the other thing that if she loses, it's going to be talked about is Republicans just stopped doing a ground game completely, and they went digital with it all. They went text messages and emails and ads on social networks and stuff. That
Yeah.
Elon buying Twitter, and Democrats smugly for the last 6 months have been kind of laughing and going, "Oh, they think that through text." No, and they kept. I saw several people cite that there are studies that if you make human contact interaction with someone,
Hmm.
you're 6 times more likely to go to the poll or whatever the number was,
Sure.
and they were hanging their hat on that. And yeah, that might be true, but think how many more people potentially Elon's group reached through text messages or who knows? We're probably going to learn a lot about how they did it.
It's a
But it
numbers
turns
game.
out podcast and a ground game. That's the two areas where Dems were slow to respond. And hopefully they'll learn it by 2024. Maybe not. Um,
With JD Vance.
Dude, if Trump wins tonight, I think we need to be really prepared for 4 years of Trump followed by 8 years of Vance.
Oh God. That's a scary, scary, scary situation.
I'm telling you, it's not over yet, but I'm just telling you, like the way this is all going, and I'm of the opinion, like I'm not even upset about it now. I'm like, we voted for this, like this is on us. Like
We who?
we Americans, this is what we wanted. Now this is what we're gonna get.
I mean, I'm looking at this map. It's so weird. There's so many red states.
Well,
And it's
a
all
lot of
these
those reds. You got to think about it. Like a lot of those red states are North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. Like nobody,
They're not, yeah.
if you add the population of all three of those together, they would equal not even DFW.
Yeah, but look, from North Dakota to Texas, it's just red. It's just a
Nobody,
red line.
nope.
Iowa to Louisiana,
It's
red.
the Great Plains. Nobody lives there.
And so they don't get their information, but they're listening to podcasts now.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
going
And
to college, listen to podcasts, voting.
those were the people that Tim Walz was supposed to have in the bag. Tim Walz was going around Nebraska and all that.
He didn't do good. Nebraska, 55 to 44%. Donald Trump.
The
Yep.
other, if she loses, the other thing they're going to say is Josh Shapiro. Should have picked Shapiro. Picking Walz was a mistake. Which, hey, do you have a map up right now? What's Minnesota look like?
Oh, Minnesota, 52% in. Harris is up 53 to 45. So she's got Minnesota, it looks like.
Hey, I can't tell how much percent of the vote is left. I'm just going to tell you, I just saw on my screen, Trump is up in every one of the swing states right now. He's already won one of them, North Carolina. The rest are all uncalled. He's up in every one of them right now.
How? How are people watching Donald Trump? I guess they're not watching Donald Trump. How are people? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Again,
But Minneapolis is pretty much all in. All we have is like the red part of Minnesota.
what is the who's winning that?
Kamala's up 53 to 45 with 52% of the vote in. Looks like all the blue votes are already in. The red votes are the only ones coming in.
So one of the things I saw right before we jumped on was somebody saying basically, "Holy shit, Minnesota could go red." That's Walz's home state.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
um,
he's the governor of that state, and they could vote against him. I'm telling
how
you,
did he win the
I'm trying.
governorship?
I wish I could get a Republican to come on and talk about this, but I'm telling you right now, Republicans are selling a good message. I'm
What
not saying
message?
I'm not saying they do it when they get into office, but the message they sell, they're able to sell it, and especially Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a salesman,
You mean
and
the message of the Democrats suck and they're rooting
the
the country?
Democrats are trying to destroy this country. Only
Yeah.
Donald Trump can save us. Donald Trump's the only one that can fix the economy.
Yeah, but that's
Donald
not a
Trump
message. That's
Donald Trump's going to protect us from illegal immigrants and transgender people.
it's not a message though. That's fear
That
mongering.
is that's a message. Vote for him or else this country's going to hell.
So it's just fear mongering.
It worked.
Uh,
Fox
okay.
News Fox News is built on scaring the shit out of old people. Like
You're right. You're right.
that,
And they're the number one news network.
that was the original template. Let's scare the shit out of old people, and people they have to watch because they have to know what to do. And they've just
Is that how
extrapolated
I
that.
fucking sell photography these days? Is just like your business is gonna go to shit if you don't buy my photography.
I don't know if it's going to work for you. You're not as good a salesman as Donald Trump is.
No, apparently not.
No, I mean he's good at this. So
I'm gonna start taking notes from Donald Trump, I guess.
yeah. What's going to be interesting is he still has a sentencing coming up in like 2 weeks from the New York case where he got convicted on 34 felonies.
Oh yeah.
There's no way they can put him in jail at this point. Like they have to give him like probation or I don't really know
Well,
what he can't pardon himself from that because that's a state case. So I don't understand like that's going to be a weird one.
oh man, that'll be
Yeah.
great if he gets sentenced to, whatever. I don't even care what it is. Just get convicted of
I
another
don't
crime.
I don't see any way that judge can possibly sentence him to jail time. And at this point, like he's gonna pretty much get it. Like he got fined a lot of money. I think he's gonna have to pay that. Um, we'll see. Like I said, we might see all the returns come in from these blue areas. It's still mathematically possible, but this feels like all the momentum is going in the wrong way.
Yeah, that's how I'm
Yeah.
feeling right now.
I re
But
I remember 2016. I did not like Trump. I didn't like Hillary at all. I didn't vote that year. I really didn't like Hillary, but I hated Trump. And I
yeah,
sat down that night like excited, and I was like, "Ah, I'm gonna watch Donald Trump lose tonight." And I felt just like this, where like as more I started being like, "Oh wow, it's not gonna be a blowout," and then it was like, "Oh wow,
yeah,
like this could be close." And then I started going, oh wow, the math is getting tough. Like this is becoming a, and then it hits a point where you realize like the math is not there. Like the path is
Oh,
gone. Donald Trump's about to win, and I feel the exact same way right now.
geez. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not trying to ruin your night. I'm just telling you that's the exact same feeling I have in my stomach.
Georgia is still in play. I want to look at this. Georgia, let's see. Georgia's still in play. What about Atlanta? So it looks like most of the votes have come in around Atlanta. Yep. Not good.
I can't
Savannah.
believe they haven't called Georgia yet.
It's still 95% of the votes in. It's going to be super close because Trump is only up by 120,000 votes.
118,000 is what I'm seeing, but with 93 reported, 93%.
I
I
got
wish
ni-
they,
I got 95% over here.
I wish they would tell me roughly like how many votes that is. 95, we're expecting there's 200,000 votes left or something like, I wish that I could
Yeah.
see that number.
Yeah, that would be
It,
nice.
it makes it hard where I don't realize like is this a insurmountable margin or no? I guess once it's officially an insurmountable margin, that's when they call it. Um, but they're
Yeah.
not calling them yet. I feel like Georgia's going to get called real soon. I don't know why it hasn't been called yet.
Dude, California went like right at 9 o'clock.
That
It was
so
immediate.
there were a couple states. So Oklahoma got called immediately.
Yeah.
Florida, they called Florida within like 30 minutes of the polls closing. Which there's a real quick fun thing on Florida. Um, they failed to pass the vote for recreational marijuana and to protect abortion rights. Now they did it an interesting way. The way they did it on the ballot is either one of those had to get 60%. The threshold was not 50, it was
Oh,
60%. And both of them came in, I think, at like 53 to 55 or whatever. So they
oh
both
shit.
failed. So weed remains illegal in Florida and 6 week cutoff on abortion.
6 weeks?
I
Oh,
I
Jesus.
think I might be wrong on that.
I
I don't
mean,
want
how
to.
many girls actually keep up with their cycle that well to know if they're 6 weeks
Yeah,
pregnant?
I'm gonna backtrack. I know it's a real short one. I don't know if it's 6 weeks. Maybe it's more than that. I think. Remember, because Donald Trump. That's the one where they asked Donald Trump about it, and he said, "Ah, I think 6 weeks is too short, and it should be something else." Uh,
Abortion, 6 weeks, keeping six
six
weeks ban
weeks.
in place.
Okay, yeah. So That
Well,
that's I thought Florida would still let Trump be in, but even Trump came out and said he was okay with legalizing the weed. So I thought they would legalize the weed and keep Trump, but apparently
yeah,
not.
I guess women are going to bleed out in their cars in Florida.
Yeah, that's the most shocking one. Is there were certain states that had the 6 week abortion ban where I really thought it would either be closer or they could possibly flip because of that, but no.
Arizona. So, dude, Trump is only up by 0.5% in Arizona.
Arizona means nothing. Like I said, Arizona could go to either side. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just go ahead and take Arizona and Nevada off your board.
we need Pennsylvania. All right.
Pennsylvania, I'm
Well,
telling you, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin both look like heavy lifts right now. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but if I had to put money down right now, I'd put it on Trump simply for momentum.
he's got a little momentum right now. He's
Oh,
still,
good news.
they still
Kamala
haven't.
just got Hawaii.
Woo!
Yay.
Hawaii. Oh, yours is who are you watching?
CNN.
Okay, it's faster than Google.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see what it looks like in the morning, and maybe, excuse me. I think I've talked too much tonight. I have been on the phone all night. Um, Maybe the votes come in from the city centers and it becomes closer, but man, it's gotta start happening right now. Like the next drop has to be dramatic for her.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if Trump still hasn't taken the stage. This is a Trump thing.
I think Trump's trying to wait until he can kind of get away with. I think Trump's goal is to go out there and declare victory. So
Yeah.
he's hoping one of these states is going to get called and he can really do it. He's going to do it no matter what he's doing before he goes to bed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way he goes to bed without declaring
He's
victory.
he's getting his hair and makeup done right now.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think he's trying to wait until he can declare victory and kind of get away with it. If he does it right now, it's too early. But yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, we'll see.
shit. All right, man. Well, let's
Yep.
reconvene tomorrow and we'll Trump wins North Carolina.
They already called that. Yeah, that happened a
Yeah,
couple minutes ago.
that
Like I
just
said,
popped up.
I think Georgia is the next one to be counted. He's 118,000 up, and I don't know how many votes are left, but it's not a lot.
Bitcoin's going up tonight.
Yeah, they're thrilled because Trump has promised to like not regulate Bitcoin or what do they call it, cryptocurrency.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're a crypto bro, like Trump winning is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he pulled that one out.
yeah,
Huh.
we'll see.
Yeah. All right,
All right,
brother. Well, good night, man. I'll
no,
talk to you tomorrow.
I'm finally gonna watch some of this. So I'll talk to you in the morning, buddy.
Later.
All right, bye.